Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Scream Queens Rising. This is something that comes from, what is it? It's from the series. Why can't I've already erased it from my head? Sullivan Nation. Sullivan Nation presents Scream Queens Rising. It's a 41-minute short documentary about Black women in Hollywood. This is the kind of thing. There's been a number of Sullivan Nation things on Disney Plus that we've watched already, and I've talked about. And this tends to be, just talking about Black culture, and especially with entertainment, music, and film, and things like that. And in this one specifically focuses on Black women and their rise and their struggle to rise very often into places of power, and not just in front of this camera, but behind it. And they talk about the struggle, the conflicts that come into there. And yeah, I am not the one that is the expert on these things. So for me to be saying, well, this is the way it should be and the way it shouldn't be, and, well, having a whole opinion about all this is not something for me. It's not something, I'm not saying that I'm not doing it, but I'm saying that never go by somebody who looks like me to talk about these kind of things. I'm just doing it because it told me to. And it was entertaining. A lot of the women in this, I absolutely love, and it's disheartening sometimes to see that that obvious talent is somehow given a barrier because often the color of their skin. And no, this is not a bunch of people just complaining, oh, I'm Black, so I can't get a job. No, it's not that at all. It's actually talking about inspiration that so many women had in getting these roles, the experiences of finally getting these opportunities. Because very often the people don't just go, hi, I'm an actor, I'm here in Hollywood, now I'm going to have a job. No, it's a whole lot more involved, and very often Hollywood tends to not lean that direction unless it's specifically a story about Black women, like The Color Purple, or other struggles, stories that talk about the struggles or the lives, or just sometimes comedies. Very, very few, but comedies starring Black women who, it wouldn't be the same film if it wasn't. So it talks about what happens when they hit the big time. Like Halle Berry wins an Oscar for Monsters Ball. Any other actor, most of the time, they put themselves out there. Sometimes they don't have to put themselves out there. The calls start coming in. Please be in this and that and the other thing. It's been 20 years. This came out in 2022, by the way. It's been 20 years, and last year it was Michelle Yeoh, and this year it was Mikey Madison, and neither of them are Black women. And even so, just even the idea of Michelle Yeoh getting a Best Actress award is astounding. But this is about the barriers to success that exist in Hollywood. Period. It just is. It just absolutely exists, and those who've overcome it, and what is next for them. So they get to talk to Halle Berry. They talk to Tessa Thompson. They talk to let me make sure I get their names right. Fantasia and Danielle Brooks, who take on the role that Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah Winfrey had in the original Color Purple film, directed by Steven Spielberg. But these ladies have taken on this story. I think it's on stage. By the way, Fantasia you would know from American Idol, and Danielle, the nerds would know anyway, her from Peacemaker. She was one of the lead actors in that, alongside John Cena. So yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's, again, 41-minute documentary, just talks about where they came from, where they are, and what's kind of happening next, and what they can do to inspire others, and just keep working. Because like with Halle Berry, she's the kind of thing normally, yeah, sure, she's Storm in the X-Men films, but do you see her in a ton of things since? Is she just up for an award every other year? No, it's not the kind of thing that happens with her. Even though people know her name, that people love her work. She's got the award for Best Actress, according to the Academy, and also I think she probably got won for other award shows as well. But the big one's always the Oscar kind of thing. So it's not easy. That's the whole story. But it's what they do to support each other, what they do to draw inspiration from those who came before them, all the way back to Gone with the Wind with Hattie McDaniel and Eartha Kitt, and it's not just like people who are actresses that are inspiring to them, although it is astounding to see people on the big screen. There's only one second of Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek on there. They didn't mention her enough, in my opinion, just because she's kind of a huge stepping stone for that. They talked to Whoopi Goldberg, who often contributes her success, her desire to go into this the acting world, to Nichelle Nichols. But that's not part of the thing. We've heard that story before. The nerds have anyway. And but yeah, in this you get to see women in front of the camera who are from in front of the camera and behind the camera. This, because of that behind the camera part, this will appeal to people who are much more into the industry end of it and wanting to be not just actresses. They can be producers and directors and writers and anything. There are probably a lot more notable black women behind the cameras whose names you may never know, because unless you're a super nerd who tries to remember everything, everybody who ever was a key grip on every film. But it's always the women who are on camera that tend to get the notoriety. Obviously, just physically see them. But yeah, it's the kind of thing that is more of, this thing is more of an interest to those types of viewers. Obviously, this will not appeal to everyone. This is not the kind of thing I would have necessarily picked out for myself, because it doesn't really apply to me. It's good education. It's good to understand and know what it's like to step, not without actually stepping into their shoes, but understanding what people have gone through to get from wherever they were to the big time. And the big time doesn't mean anything. Is it just a given now that I'm just famous and rich forever? Is that a thing? And I mean, that's a situation for anybody, but the idea of getting to that point is a little bit more complex when it comes to being a black woman in Hollywood. Again, I am not the expert on this whatsoever, and I should not be taken as, oh, well, he said it, well, then, he's definitely, the person you should be calling on to make commentary on these things. So definitely check this out if you are aware of these actresses. If you're aware of the industry and want to see what it's like for these women that you know from films and television and you loved, Marla Gibbs and Jack A are in this, so they get interviewed as well. You know them from the classic sitcoms like 227 and Jeffersons. Marla Gibbs was in the Jeffersons, wasn't she? Also, yeah. Anyway, you'll recognize a lot of faces in this, and it's a good reminder of that. It's not always simple for certain people to get where they want to go, simply because of the color of their skin. It's not like anybody's complaining about it. Oh, poor me. No, it's just a fact of reality. This is, by the way, hosted by Lindsay Davis and Deborah Roberts, and a whole host of other interviewers that you'll see throughout this. So yeah, definitely give it a shot if you're in for this kind of thing. There's Debbie Allen appears in this as well. Good golly. Yeah, you'll recognize a number of people. It's kind of neat to see. When they talk about who inspired them, you're gonna be like, oh, of course. These people were iconic. And the great thing about it is they weren't iconic just because they were black women. They're iconic because they were just fantastic actresses. But for these women, for these young girls, maybe at one point, they were like, that's impressive. That woman that I just saw in this TV show or this movie is something that shows me it can be done when you don't necessarily know how you want to present yourself. And that's half the game when it comes to Hollywood. How you want to present yourself in order to be noticed. Because it's too much of it is about fitting into a certain mold in order to market yourself. There isn't just one type of black woman. There isn't just one type of actor either. But again, now I'm just rambling. Check it out. It was worthwhile. It was worthwhile seeing just the excitement on some of them when they're talking about their heroines, and seeing where their steps in getting where they are, and they could be an inspiration to you yourself, especially if you're a black woman. I can't believe there's just like a whole ton of black women just dying to get my opinion on video. Just, let's pick tomorrow's episode before I talk myself into a deep pit. 85. Oh, wow. Okay. This is another documentary. Gotten a lot recently. No, well, to this one. Yeah, this one. Because we had the Young Black Stallion before that, I think. I've already lost track. But this one, I don't know how long it is, because I think it's about a Disney Magic Kingdom. Well, it's about a Disney ride, I believe. I don't know. We'll find out. But I never got to ride it. I've never been ridden on it. It's at Epcot, I believe, if I'm correct in this. Maybe they're just talking about the films they're based on. I don't know. It's called For the First Time in Forever. You know what I'm talking about. The Making of the World of Frozen. So, for the first time in forever, the making of the world of Frozen. Maybe it's all about the movies or about the ride. We'll find out tomorrow when we watch that on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.